So a little bit about me. I'll cover off the strange accent first. I am from Sydney. I have been in London for 12 years though. Came here, loved it, won't go home. It's as simple as that. I speak and I train and I write about the use of social media for recruitment. It's quite specific. I come at it from that recruitment point of view. I don't come at it from the marketing point of view. I very much know how you can be using this for recruitment. 1.8 billion people, that's probably changed by now, because that's from February, are on social media. And when you're looking at that, so the penetration of the internet is 37% and the social network penetration is 26%. That's a lot of people that you can get access to, and certainly a good starting point. And then even for the people who aren't on social media, you can get access to them because you can find their friends who will then go, oh, actually I know the person, they don't happen to be on social media, I'll pass it on. Social media is just another channel for recruitment. A lot of people think it is the channel. No, it's not. It's just another one. You've still got your emails, but you wouldn't call it email recruitment, for example. You've still got your job boards, you've still got your agents. So this just gives you access to another pool of people. But to me, there are 3 things that you need to do to keep it balanced. And if you don't really do the 3, it doesn't really work. So I'll cover off the first one, which is job distribution, even though it's at the bottom. I'm doing it backwards. Job distribution. A lot of people will go, oh, well, I'm social recruiting. What I've done is I've taken my job and I've spat it out on Twitter, bring on the people. Well, they're not just going to come. You also need to be sharing great content and promoting your employer brand, and also doing a little bit of digging to find some people. So that's sort of the 3 angles I'm coming from. So your employer branding is showing off what you're doing, showing insight into your company. They actually want to see you. If you're having a bake-off on a Friday, you know what? Show them those cakes. Let people see that you're human beings. The sourcing is how to go and look for them, which I'm going to cover off a little bit. And then, yes, fine, share your jobs amongst all of that. One of the major benefits, of course, of recruiting yourself on social media is that it will save you tens and thousands of pounds. Who's on LinkedIn? Do you find it very social? It's more like a CV database, isn't it? You kind of plonk yourself on there and, you know, you might share an update occasionally, but it's not social. Unlike, say, Facebook or Twitter, which are really social. So when I say being social, what I mean is, again, that I don't want you to broadcast. It's a conversation that you're going to be having, but it's not just a, here's my job, here's my job. You know, a bit like when you're walking down the street and there's a billboard, you haven't got any choice, that billboard's there, sort of glaring at you. This isn't like that. If you do that on social media, it won't work, and people will be repelled from you. You won't necessarily know. So you might have Twitter followers that are still there, but they're not interacting with you, for example. More importantly, though, when you are looking to hire, is there's now flipped on its head, and the job seekers go and look at you. They're coming to your website, they're looking for videos, they're looking for photos, they want to see in your doors. They're doing exactly the same thing on all of the social media sites. Glassdoor is the TripAdvisor for employers. What your ex-employees can do with you having no control over it whatsoever is pop on and write a review. But what I would recommend you do is go to Glassdoor, claim your company name, put some photographs of yourselves even, of your office chair. I don't care. Just let people see who you are and what you're doing, and take control of that. It's completely free. So starting with the obvious is LinkedIn. There are only 15 million Brits on there, and of those, 50% have incomplete profiles and 50% don't go on there. The average use is about 17 minutes per month, so it's actually quite low when you compare it to Facebook, which is 6.75 hours per month. At the same time, you need to have a presence on there, because if you Google yourself, you'll come up quite high. So it's like this balancing act. So things that make it great. Obviously, I'm a bit biased. I quite like my profile picture. I think I look cheery. There's my friend Viv and my friend Lisa. Viv got hers professionally done. Lisa actually took it herself and ran it through Instagram. Not a selfie though. No selfies down the blouse, people. Even you boys. Please have somebody take the photo. And then what you're looking for next is to do a statement headline, which is this. I love using the pipe. The techies will get that above the /K. It's my favourite little break it up visually. But what you're doing there is You know when people have looked at your profile, you click on that, who's looked at my profile, it just shows that little invitation. It's their photo and just a little bit of an introduction. That's why that headline matters. And also in the Google search results. You've down here in your content, I've written that includes achievements in your industry's common terms, because again, people are looking for you, so never forget that. When I talk about achievements, if you just write a bullet doing, did the accounts, boring. Think of the so what, I did the accounts, which meant the tax department was happy and I saved money, or whatever the benefit is. So whenever you write out, exactly the same for your marketing, it's a bit like that. When you're writing out your profile, at the end of each bullet, just think, so what, you'll get your benefit. The other thing which is great from an employer branding point of view, even of yourselves, is you now have this ability to put lots of really colourful stuff on there. So they've got these sections. So when you go into edit profile, it's on the top right. You can add sections. So up here, I've just added a load of files. That one's a PowerPoint, for example. This has actually pulled the picture through from my website because I'm an avid blogger, so all the pictures have come through. You can add any projects you're working on, if you've got a bit of excitement about something you're doing. And these are all free to add. Do add your skills because it's important that you can be found. Now, you need to be found, you see, because you're attracting staff. But you can now go into it and you can manage who can endorse your skills. So you can switch that off, and you can also edit out any random skills you get. I've got one for blog ranting, which I think is quite cool. And then if you write at all, any publications that you've got could be quite important as well. So this is all about attracting people to your profile. Now, your company profile, again, this is all free to set up, so there's no cost involved. What's really important, once you put the banner, and particularly if you start using updates, is you only get 3 little lines underneath to grab their attention. So make those lines matter, because really, are they going to click see more and look down? Probably not. Then updates. So I mean, I know this is Adobe, and I know they're a huge company. I quite love this. They've actually got an Adobe Life hashtag that they're using. And what they've done is they've created a tag board that's all about life at Adobe. And they've shared that. So it's real insight. There's somebody there carrying their bike into the actual office. Again, it's letting people see in. They're not interested in all that corporate, high-polished PR. They want the real thing. People buy from people. I say this all the time, and I think people recruit from people. Even on stuffy LinkedIn, sharing humour. The updates that I share that are humorous get reshared and reshared and reshared. I've put a cheeky little thing there about increasing your impressions. If you share an update on your company page, pick your mobile phone up and go to the app and like it as yourself. So then your people get to see it as well, not just your followers. The other thing you can do, if you've got subcategories, you can set up showcase pages, and again, this is all free. So they allow you to draw attention to particular services you're offering. For me, I've just done it for my training and my blogging, so that I can just, because I blog all over the place, not just on my website, I can just use it as a hub and put all my articles in one place. So anyone that follows that will have my articles land in their news feed on their homepage. That's where I was showing where I've liked it as myself and the impressions shot up. So definitely worth picking your phone up. It's a bit of a strange thing to do, but it works really well. I said that I was going to do a little bit on how to search on there. So particularly for your sales, I'm not convinced with your techies. There's other ways to find your techies. So it's that little top button that's very hard to see there at the top, so top right, advanced. As soon as you click in there, what I want you to do is check that box, third plus everyone else. Otherwise, you're only sharing your first level connections and then their connections. Whereas actually, we want to do their connections again. Just outlined the Boolean searching. If you want 2 words to come together, so you want sales director together, you put them in inverted commas. Or you might go, well, actually I want sales and director. So just play with them. I mean, in this example, I have done a techie search. I've just done C# or Java, programmer or developer, because they love calling themselves all the multiple names. And then I've done within the postcode. I'd actually done within 25 miles. I'm personally very happy to add people as a connection. If you don't share a group, I just share the we've done business together option, and I write a personal message in there. If you started off with hi first name, I've had a good look at your profile. You look like the person we could be looking for. Wondered what you thought. That gives them the opportunity to reply without accepting your connection request as well, but it opens that messaging for free. This, I do think, though, for your techies could be quite handy. There are lots of techies, particularly, who have joined groups but have stripped back their profiles and never go to LinkedIn. But what they haven't done is turned off the annoying email that the groups send out on a daily or a weekly basis. So if you post a job discussion, which is free, to those groups, it will go out in that email. So you'll extend your reach out to those people. And all you do is from the home page of the group, so you'd be on this bit of the group, the one that says discussions, you just click the little job as you're typing. So then what that does is put it in the jobs tab here as a job discussion like these people have done. And that's free and very, very easy. And I'd post it quite regularly. You want to make sure, though, when you're doing that and there, is that you do write things like must have authority to work in the EU. And I'd do something like we recruit without third-party assistance or without agencies. Try and avoid the word not. None of us actually compute the word not. But I find that quite effective. And I've done it for quite senior roles as well, finance directors and people like that as well. Twitter, to me, is actually social. I have had work from I've had so much opportunity from Twitter, just from checking in on Foursquare at a conference. It went out as a tweet, somebody saw it, came and got me. I've been on video, I've had speaking engagements, I've worked with him. So much from that one tweet. Just becoming known, getting much more traffic back to my website, all that kind of stuff. But the thing is as well, it's actually a little bit hard to see, but pretty well half of the people on there are in IT or sales. So that's exactly what you guys are after. And it is active and people pass stuff on, and that's what's so exciting. But not if you use it as a broadcasting tool. I don't want to see your stream like a news feed. You have this lovely opportunity to pin your tweets at the top. Look at that. Isn't that sweet? Do you think that was a bit staged? Had to be done. But you can now pin a tweet at the top. So if it's your recruitment tweet, you know, hey guys, please pass it on. You can pin that at the top. Again, you've got the opportunity to fill out that bio and make it quirky. Okay, it's Twitter. It sits perfectly between LinkedIn and Facebook. So, you know, have that lovely mix and inject your personality. This is the sort of stuff you can share. I mean, it's quite similar to what I showed you over on LinkedIn, so I'm not asking you to produce new content. So that's my slides that I showed you before. This is a video of some techie guys at a conference. They've stuck it on YouTube and then they've tweeted it. So that's live link. It's great when they go out, pictures and stuff in the video. I love Instagram. I think it's amazing because you can actually get your picture out looking much happy. You know, you could take a picture of that new office chair because we're that exciting at our company. But you could, and put it through a filter on Instagram, or you could put a sign on it saying, does this chair belong to you? That's going to grab their attention. Run it from Instagram out to Twitter as an image. It's a little tool that I'll show you to make it go out as an image. And you can do little 15-second videos. I could just pan the room. What do you think of our sexy stuff? You know, it could be something easy. Steve in the middle here has done a video job description. They are recruiters. They've got the time to do that. Sif did a 6-second Vine video and she got a job offer as well, which is quite extraordinary. And that was me at a conference showing my expertise or showing that I'm attending stuff by sharing information. It's just breaking up that feed. So if you do start using Instagram, just go to if this then that. I'll send you the link and you just create a little recipe and it will make when it goes out onto Twitter, it goes out as an image instead of it going out as a link. So they've uploaded to Instagram and it's pinged out to Twitter. Manage Flitter. There are several, but this is my all-time favourite. The reason is I can stick in the bio search for web developer and then what it does is bring me up a list and I can just hover on the side. I don't have to click, I can just hover, read the bio. Is the bio what I want? I then click through there to their bio and follow them. Simple as that. It is the best search tool I've found. The other one you might want to look at is Topsy because you can search for tweets as such. Please, for the sake of your business being found search engine optimization side, go and put yourself in Google+. Go and fill it out. Write yourself a great story. You've got lots more than 160 characters, so you can write War and Peace on there. Link it back to your website. There's a great thing about bragging rights. So I've put that I'm at the top of that bloody mountain. So what was I thinking? So again, it's that mix between this is my company persona and this is my personality. So very easy, just go to plus.google.com, set yourself up, use a Gmail, or if you're using Google Apps, you can use that. From a search engine point of view, if you're blogging, you must connect to Google+, so you get the authorship, which means in Google you get your little picture sitting there and who's in your circles and all that kind of stuff. Company pages, this is a must, okay? But you also want to make sure that when you set your company page up on there, that you also link it to Google Places. This is where your techies are. And all I did to bring up this girl, I just put in Java developer in inverted commas in the search box and location. And then what I can do quite easily is hit the little hangout button and send her a message. And also have a look and see, if she's blogging elsewhere, maybe you can go and read her blog and see if she's worth hiring or contacting in the first place. The communities in there are fabulous for those hiring techies, okay? Very easy to find. All I did was type developers in the search box in the top, and then I clicked communities, and there are great communities. The hangouts are a lot of fun. What I like about them is you can create really quick content. So you could have a couple of you talking about your latest product. The screen is flicking between who's talking without you doing anything. It drops onto YouTube, chop the ends off, put a nice slide in. There's some nice, easy content that you can then go and put out onto Twitter. You can go and chuck it onto LinkedIn. And then from a sales point of view, it could be anything, talking about how innovative your new product is and blah, blah, blah. Every morning when you go onto LinkedIn on your homepage, you need to go into your updates and change it to recent. Every single day they change it to top, which is really restricting how many people are seeing your updates. So if you're using LinkedIn, could you please tell people, anybody you know, that they need to do that daily? That just shows the reach. That's Facebook. Of course, if you're going to use it though, lock it down. You've got on your homepage at the top, you've got a little padlock. If you go in there, what you want to do is that's actually saying make sure that your future posts are set to friends only. And something to be aware of, I noticed a lot of my friends, because I've got friends who are borderline, they're more like work colleagues, they do a lot of public stuff. So just watch out if there's a thing that looks like a world, you mightn't want to comment as liberally as you would if it just has 2 little people. Then what you can do when you're in there as well is look at your activity log, which comes up like this, and you've got, actually that's my little world there, and that's my people. Check what you're tagged in. I've got lots and lots of friends who tag me in dog stuff all the time and I actually don't want it on my newsfeed, and it's public. So I approve anything first before it goes out. And I've been known to untag myself from stuff that was unflattering. So feel free to do that, because they are looking at you, these job seekers. They are going to look you up on Facebook. But you can, in the settings over here somewhere, you can change it so that it has to have approval first. This graph search has come out. Now, how you'll know that you have this search bar is that you'll have this funny little F. If you don't have that, just change your language to English US. And this is where Facebook is starting to come onto its own. Now, I'm guesstimating, but I reckon about 1/3 of people have put their job title. And that allows you to do things like developers who live in Newcastle. You can send them a message. Now, there are 2 inboxes in Facebook. Did you know you have an other inbox? I mean, mine's full of spam, but I leave it there because it's always something like, hello, pretty lady. It cracks me up, so I leave it there. Hey, when you get older, we'll accept anything. But if you just send a message to someone who's not a friend or a friend of a friend, it goes in the other inbox, which you don't really want to do. But what you can do is pay the grand total of 63 pennies and have it delivered to their inbox. Now, I don't think that people will have a problem with you approaching them about a job via Facebook. You're coming at it from a company point of view. If you're a recruitment agent, you probably get a different response. This one, with people who like Java, that's for people who've liked Java as an interest, or they might have liked PHP or whatever technology, and they've gone in and said they like it, but they potentially haven't actually written what they do. So that gives you another opportunity to find people. So they've liked the page, or it could be you could do people who are members of, and you do that in inverted commas, of Java, for people who've joined the Java groups that are on there. Pay-per-click advertising is another option. It has now rolled out, so you can actually do a pay-per-click advert based on their job title. Personally, I find that's not quite as successful as doing it based on interests. You've had some success promoting posts as well. Definitely. So quite worth doing. I mean, definitely make sure whatever you put, the picture really jumps out, because you've got those few seconds to grab their attention. Real geeky site for the real geeky people. GitHub. You can go in and you can do an advanced search and you can look for people. In this case, I've done PHP, and you can have a look at their work if you're technical, which is fantastic, so you can assess them beforehand. So there's a lot you can do. If you want to be found all over the web, use the same profile picture all over the web. Here, what I've done is I've gone from here, I've right-clicked on his photo because I use Chrome, and I've done a Google image search. And what you then find is where else he's using that profile picture, and that can lead to some really interesting stuff, like be it blogs or other forums or other places they can be found and potentially engaged with before you even just go, hello, I want to recruit you. Because I don't necessarily do any startup recruiting, so I went out to the people I know that do, And I said, what's your number one tip would you give to startups looking to hire their first sales or tech person? And if you guys are going to be tweeting, definitely follow Hung Lee. So he's at Hung Lee, and KWard69, because these guys tweet some really good stuff. So energy over experience as a gross overgeneralization, which I thought was quite good. Ken wrote back, don't over-specify, to which I wrote, as in have too high expectations. Yeah, as in wanting the world in your job description. Look for the core skills and that ability to learn and grow, which I think I touched on before. I would be looking for things like a bit of longevity on their CV. You don't want them turning over every year, because that means they're not very good. And then I would be seeing if they can listen. Because personally, I think that's the best sales skill. Because if I listen to what you say and I repeat it back to you, you feel reassured.